All right, so let's jump right in. What if I told you the secret to getting motivated wasn't to hustle harder or to push through the pain, but to just give up? I know, it sounds totally backward, but we're going to explore this really powerful idea, how doing absolutely nothing for just a couple of minutes can flip a switch in your brain and reset your entire drive. Man, this quote, it hits hard, doesn't it? It's that feeling, The whole day just vanishes into this haze of digital static, and you're left feeling even worse than when you started. I think a lot of us know exactly what this feels like.
I mean, come on. You know this feeling. You're trying to have fun, right? You're jumping from one video to the next, but you're not actually having fun. You just feel tired. And that important thing you're supposed to be doing, it feels like it's on another planet.
So this cycle, this trap we fall into, it actually has a name. We can call it the distraction spiral. It's that place where the more you try to escape into entertainment, the less satisfying it becomes, and the more impossible it feels to do anything else. Yeah, this is the perfect way to put it. You're stuck in this loop. You click on a video, watch for 30 seconds, get bored, and click on another. You boot up a game, play for 5 minutes, and you're already over it. You're just endlessly chasing this little hit of stimulation that never really comes, and it just leaves you feeling completely drained. So picture this. You're at that absolute low point, and you just decide, you know what? Screw it. I give up. But this time, instead of just spiraling more, a totally different decision was made. A really, really simple but kind of wild experiment. And the plan was almost ridiculously simple. First, you give yourself permission to stop fighting it, just for a little bit. Let that guilt go. Second, and this is the most important part, you physically unplug from everything. Computer off, phone in another room. The final step? You just sit down and stare at a wall. Yep, do literally nothing. And here's the crazy part, the part that changes everything. It only took 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of intentional, pure boredom completely turned the day around. So just sitting there in the quiet, this weird restlessness starts to bubble up. And right behind it, an actual desire, real, genuine motivation to do the very thing that felt so impossible just a few minutes ago. And it wasn't just about work either. It was this feeling of being hyped for life again, for eating better, hitting the gym, for all those bigger goals that had been buried under all that noise. So what on earth just happened, right? How does doing nothing somehow create motivation out of thin air? Well, the answer is all about our brain chemistry. Specifically, it's about a little neurotransmitter you've definitely heard of, dopamine. See, it all comes down to this idea of your dopamine baseline. Just think of it like your brain's normal setting for how much stimulation it expects. When you're constantly doing super high dopamine things, that baseline level gets pushed higher and higher. Your brain gets used to this new, intense normal, and anything less exciting just starts to feel, well, boring. And our brains see a huge difference between these types of activities. You've got your high stimulation stuff over here, gaming, endless scrolling, that just crank our dopamine way, way up. Then you've got productive stuff, which gives you a more moderate, sustainable level. The problem isn't enjoying the fun stuff. It's when our brain starts to demand that high level all the time. And here's what that looks like in practice. When your baseline is way up here from all that constant stimulation, a normal work task feels like a massive drop. It's like going from a rock concert to a library. Your brain is wired to chase rewards, so it's going to fight your tooth and nail to avoid that feeling of dropping down. But after just 5 minutes of doing nothing, your baseline plummets. It resets. And now look, that exact same work task is suddenly a step up. It's now the more stimulating, more attractive option. You didn't change the work at all. You just changed your brain's relationship to it. Okay, so let's make this super practical. How can you actually use this like today, the next time you feel completely stuck and unmotivated? Let's walk through the super simple step-by-step guide to doing your own motivation reset. It's honestly this simple. Step 1, just let go. Seriously,
Give yourself permission to stop fighting yourself. Step 2, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable. Unplug. Remove all the stimulation. No screens, no music, no podcasts. And step 3, embrace the boredom. Just sit quietly for 5 minutes. That's it. That's the whole trick.
Now, this 5-minute reset is like an emergency eject button, and it's awesome. But the real secret sauce is when you start applying this logic to your entire day. Because it turns out it's not just about what you do, but the order you do it in.
I mean, look at the difference here. The order of your day changes everything. If you start your morning with a video game, you've immediately spiked your dopamine baseline. The rest of the day, work feels like a total chore. You're constantly fighting the urge to escape back to something fun. But if you start with the work first, that task itself becomes rewarding. And the best part, when you finally do relax and play that game later, it feels earned. It's actually more fun. Let's call this the up principle. It's the core idea for a truly motivated day. You start with focused work when your baseline is naturally low. Then your dopamine level just goes up from there. The work feels good, a workout later feels even better, and that game at the end of the day feels amazing. But if you start with the game, your whole day is just an uphill battle against your own brain.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about, right? If you're always living inside that high dopamine fun bubble, that constant bath of easy stimulation, how can you ever really want what's outside of it? How can you find the drive for the meaningful, challenging, and truly rewarding things that are just waiting for you?